Hello folks, it's August bank holiday, so let's have a little special edition of the car news. A little bit thinner on the ground than normal, mainly because the Munich car show's coming up this week, so everyone's sort of headed out over there, I think, and it means that news releases, press releases and things tend to happen at that. So I dare say the next episode of the car news is going to be a lot beefier than this one. Also have to say a massive thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring this episode. If you'd like to get 60% off HelloFresh, keep watching. I'm going to tell you a bit more about that later. Starting off here with the RAC, drivers set to make 14 million leisure trips on the roads this bank holiday weekend. I'm sure that won't come as news to many of you, but 14 million is quite a number, isn't it? I think really now when you're travelling around at bank holidays, particularly where I am, not too far from Bournemouth, you have to really think about when you're going to travel and where you're going to travel well in advance, because otherwise you can just get stuck in mega traffic jams that basically take the day away from you. The most popular destinations for the bank holiday weekend: Norfolk, Suffolk, Cambridgeshire, followed by the West Country, Cornwall, Devon, Dorset and Somerset, then Wales and Scotland. This one from Auto Express: the new hardcore Mustang GTD appears at the 2023 Monterey Car Week. If you've missed it in the last week or two, Ford have announced this absolutely monstrous new Mustang, which appears to be sort of a final tip of the hat possibly to the combustion engine from Ford, certainly on the performance side of things. It's a 5.2 litre V8 petrol with a dry sump system, which is new for a Mustang. It's going to redline at 7,500 RPM, 800 brake horsepower. It's got an 8-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox and a limited slip diff, and it's the first Mustang ever to get 50-50 weight balance. Now, if you're looking at this car and thinking, "Whoa," just hold those fours to yourself for a minute, because they are going to be in limited numbers and they only cost $300,000 US only at the moment, but $300,000. Obviously, that's going to be a real collector's item, and God knows what the values of them will do in time. But yeah, interesting beast. Check this out. A driver of 89 years old has been fined in secret over car left unused on his drive. An 89-year-old pensioner has been handed a criminal conviction and fined for not paying a few weeks of car insurance after its car failed its MOT and sat on the drive unused. The man from Hampshire was taken to court by the DVLA through the single justice procedure and convicted in a behind closed doors hearing last week. Now, the single justice procedure has come in to speed up the justice process. And it basically means that magistrates can make decisions behind closed doors, just one magistrate in an office, just using paper evidence. So that means you don't get to go to court and argue your case. This old chap, his car had failed the MOT. He stuck it on the drive, evidently didn't use it at all, but he's been done for not having insurance on a car that's not sawn, I guess. He's now got a criminal conviction. He got fined 65 quid and £62 fine and £25 victim surcharge. But he's got a criminal conviction at 89. This is also happening for some speeding fines, by the way, so the heavy-footed amongst you might want to keep an eye on that. If you want to find out more about it, just Google the single justice procedure. It's used for crimes like train fare evasion, speeding, but it's also been used to punish COVID rule breaking. Sponsor of today's video is HelloFresh. As some of you know, I've used HelloFresh for quite a long time now. It really revolutionised the way we eat. Basically, you go online, order the recipes that are going to fit you and your family. You can choose for how many people you want them, how many you want each week, and they all arrive in this fantastically packaged box, complete with these great recipe cards that offer step-by-step instructions, which helps almost anyone create a gourmet meal within half an hour in their own kitchen. There are all kinds of different options available to cater for your particular dietary needs, and everything about HelloFresh screams quality. The website's really easy to use, the packaging of the products is fantastic, and the quality of the ingredients is really up there. There are more than 44 different recipes available each week, so even the fussiest of eaters can usually find something they like. And portion prices are from just £3.15 per person, and that's before you apply the discount code that I'm going to give you in a second. There's a rapid menu where everything can be cooked in under 20 minutes, and there's also a special menu where all of the meals are under 650 calories for those of you that are watching your waistline. Maybe I should try one of those. The other great thing about HelloFresh is when the box arrives, there's a bit of a buzz in the house. The kids jump in, they like to get involved with the preparation of the food as well, and it just adds a little bit of excitement to those boring weekday nights. And it allows us to have great, fresh, good quality meals like this, cooked from scratch at home. HelloFresh have given me a discount code to use with my viewers. It's Guru2023. You'll find that down here. There's also this QR code. Simply scan that QR code with your phone. It will take you straight to HelloFresh and apply that discount code for you. That gives you 60% off your first box and 25% off the following 2 boxes. And you'll also get a little free gift in there. So really, you've got nothing to lose here, folks. This is great quality food, really easy to put together. Give it a try. Next to Autocar and Dacia is to be repositioned as a Jeep rival. I've thought this is going to happen for some time. The price of Dacias has gone up and up and up, slowly and gradually, but they're not the cheap cars they once were. The Renault Group's design chief has told Autocar that the CEO of Dacia has voiced his desire for the Romanian company to have an aspiration beyond affordability. He says, in my view, there's no serious competitor for Jeep in Europe. Why couldn't Dacia be that? There's no affordable brand that's linked to the outdoors that gets you out of town, which, especially since the COVID days, is becoming extremely relevant. Dacia is a brand that's very well positioned for people who love the outdoors. It gives you 2 reasons to buy the car, not just 1. So some suggestion there that affordability is still going to be part of the mix. But as I said before, they're not as affordable as they were. They've sort of lost a little bit of that USP that they had. And I guess we can expect to see lots more rugged, off-road capable Dacias in future. What do you think about that? Jaguar Land Rover to reuse its car batteries to store national grid power. So basically they've announced that they're going to use their old electric car batteries to store power from the national grid to put back into the grid. When the grid's producing too much, they'll then put it back into the grid at times when the grid needs it. For example, you've got things like wind turbines that sometimes are producing almost too much power and the grid can't take it and it's sort of wasted. And at other times, they're not turning. So at that time, the power that's stored in the batteries could come back. The JLR battery scheme aims to supply enough batteries to power 750 homes for a day, equivalent to 7.5 megawatt hours, by the end of this year. Now, this is the interesting bit. Electric car batteries can be reused, JLR said, due to the high standards they meet, meaning they can be used again when they fall below the stringent requirements of an electric vehicle. Typically, they're left with 70 to 80% residual capacity. Now, just think about this for a minute. The oldest JLR EV would be the I-Pace, and they're saying that by the end of this year, they expect to have enough I-Pace batteries that have essentially failed to power 750 homes a day. I'd like to see their battery failure rate. Well, it's not failing, is it? It's just falling below the expected level. I'd like to see the rate of their battery failures versus some of the others on the market, because if it's anything like reliability numbers for their internal combustion engine vehicles, it might make for interesting reading. The head of transport at the Energy and Climate Intelligence Unit, Colin Walker, said most of the metals in EV batteries can be recycled. Only 30 kilograms is lost once everything else has been recycled. Meanwhile, by the time it comes to the end of its life, a petrol car has irretrievably burnt 17,000 litres of fuel. Back to the RAC, government issues urgent message to avoid using third parties when renewing your driving licence. Evidently, lots of companies out there scamming people, essentially saying we'll renew your driving licence for you. There's talk here of someone being charged an £81 handling fee to actually just renew their licence for them. All you need to do is go on the .gov website and you can do it yourself. It's quite a simple process. I had to do mine not too long ago. Don't go anywhere else. Just go to the government website to renew your driving licence. Onto the BBC now, and car insurance hits £500 a year for the average UK driver. The reason for all the recent price hikes is literally down to the cost of repairs. Repair prices have gone through the roof. In fact, they've gone up by 33% in the last year, with insurers now spending £1.5 billion on repair costs. And because of these increasing costs, you're finding some insurers pulling out of the market. So you may have been with your broker for 20 years and you've always paid a similar kind of price. But actually, where they used to go to 30 different companies, 40, 50 different companies for your car insurance, Now, perhaps they've got 10 fewer companies to go for. And possibly some of those that were offering cheaper insurance in the first place are the ones that have had to pull out because, you know, they've lost their shirt. Now we're over to Auto Express for their little preview on sort of what we might expect to see at the Munich Motor Show. The Motor Show kicks off on the 5th of September. Obviously, we'll cover this in more detail in the next news video next month. But here we go. Starting with Audi, looks like they're going to show off the new Q6 e-tron. I'm not particularly excited by that. I don't know about you. BMW are going to show its latest concept vehicle, which looks like it will be sort of the forerunner to the new electrified 3 Series, which you have to think is probably going to be one of their biggest selling cars worldwide. So I'll be very interested to see what that looks like. BYD are expected to show the Dolphin and the Seal, but possibly also the Seal U, which is going to be a mid-size SUV that will compete with things like the VW ID.4 and the Tesla Model Y. Now, Cupra are making hints, but there's no confirmation that they might show you the final version of the Dark Rebel. If you don't remember, last year's Munich show, they showed off this concept, Dark Rebel, and said that would be a production car sort of coming off the back of it. It could be that they announce it in Munich. Let's hope so, because I'd like to see that. It looks like we'll see the new EV replacement for the C-Class from Mercedes. No confirmation, but it looks very likely that that will be there. The new Mini Cooper and the electrified Mini Cooper are also likely to appear. Onto Porsche, we know we won't be seeing the new electric Macan because that's going to be at the LA show in November. The Mission X hypercar, this bad boy, could be there. Renault's Scenic's probably going to be there. The new Scenic is going to be basically an electric family car rather than, you know, a big MPV. Don't really see the point. No one's making MPVs anymore. People still want MPVs. They sell in the bucket load used. Play to your strengths, Renault. The Smart 3 is going to make its European debut at Munich. Basically, Smart's rival to Tesla Model Y. Now, this is the interesting one, Tesla. There's lots of talk about Project Highland, which evidently looks like a facelift to the Tesla Model 3. Could be that they unveil that at Munich, or it could be the Tesla Model 2. My eyes will be completely glued to this because if they release the Model 2, that could be a complete game changer. It could be one of those moments, just like when they dropped all that money off the Model 3 and the Model Y a little while ago. The Model 2 could be one of those things that sees car prices just drop across the board. So very interesting. The caveat with Tesla is they tend to announce things years before they actually go into production. See Cybertruck for details. So let's wait and see. But I think for most people, the Tesla announcements are the ones that they are most looking forward to seeing. Possibly not if you're a rival car manufacturer. Vauxhall are going to show some sort of concept car. VW, it looks likely that we're going to see the ID.7, which is a big sort of Passat-like beast. And possibly the debut of the new Passat alongside it. And for now, that's about it, folks. Thank you ever so much for watching this one. Please go and check out HelloFresh. The link is in the video description below, or you can click on this QR code here. Genuinely, I use HelloFresh. We love it. Go and check it out. Please give the video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And please come back for more. See you on the next one, folks. Have a great bank holiday.